welcome to Let It Out. If you're new on this channel, my name is Blessing Boaz Adiotunoloa. I am a Montessori directress and a life coach for children. Thank you for your subscriptions, your comments and likes on this channel. I really do appreciate it. So today, like I told you on our last episode, we're going to be discussing the difference between a normal school tutor and a Montessori tutor, or a normal nanny that we get every day and a Montessori trained nanny, right? Now, our educational system has trained us to just abstractly. It doesn't really go to the core or to the concrete level. Now, what the normal tutor does, right, he or she just teaches your child to understand what is there for them to understand, what they have been taught in school, the normal things they do every day, back to back in school. But the Montessori directress, first and foremost, he or she understands the child, right? So we follow the child. So once we come into your home, we understand, we first and foremost, right, create a relationship between your child and the tutor. In that way, the tutor gets to understand the needs of your child. Okay, he sees that or she sees that your child might be lacking in this aspect. So they come prepared to help you engage your children in the particular area, right, that they have difficulties. Now, like I said, our educational system has taught us to just understand things abstractly. But if you follow the Montessori method of teaching, it goes right deep into the concrete level. Now, if a child is learning math, for instance, let's say he's learning number 5, right? The child would definitely know and see what 5 is. He would also feel what 5 is. Do you get? Before he goes to just write it abstractly that they normally do. But in the Montessori method, the child can feel the quantity of 5. He can know how 5 feels like, the weight of 5. He can feel 5, by going through and tracing and feeling the yes, I am saying the child can feel 5, and a lot of you might be confused. But yes, this is what the Montessori method teaches the child. Now we have sandpaper, letters, and numbers. So when I say the child feels 5, he actually traces 5 on the sandpaper number. So he feels what 5 feels like. He looks at 5, he knows 5. Now, this is what a Montessori teacher does. Now, a Montessori tutor, like I said, they get to teach your children everything, right? From the normal grace and courtesy that in most schools they are lacking. The Montessori tutor knows that he or she is the first material for contact. So once they come into your home, they are aware of that I am here and I'm also a tool for learning. So they first and foremost get to present the right images to your children, right? There, in that way, your children will get to follow and copy from them, because we know that children get to copy a lot from the people that are closest to them. So this is one difference about the normal tutor and the Montessori tutor. Another thing that a Montessori tutor does is that our activities are mostly hands-on activities, right? So any tutor that is assigned to your child comes to your home with our teacher's aid kits. So we already have prepared materials for your children, because we understand how essential the hand is to the brain, right? So we don't joke on hands-on activities with your children. So we have these tools already, and we also have the materials if you want to buy them, right? So one of our services is, if you have a space in your home, you want to convert it to a space where your children can do their work independently. We also help you to set up a prepared environment for your children at home. So we have all the right materials, all the age appropriate tools for your children. We work with resources, right? So if your child is 3, we would get you all the materials that is age appropriate for a 3-year-old, right? That would help your child to develop his cognitive skills, sensorial motor, and every other thing, because we know the senses are very, very important, and they are also at the stage of development. So these are some of our services. Now, another difference about the normal nanny, let me even give you my experience. I once had a nanny at home, right? She was helping me with my children. She was helping me do all the normal things that we get our nannies involved in doing, right? So my daughter became very, very close to this person, and before I knew it, my daughter began to speak like her, right? Yes, she began to speak like her. Her words were shaking in some ways. Her accent was a bit faulty. I noticed all of that, and then we began to work deliberately. Now, a nanny, right, is a very essential tool in a child's development and the child's growth. We don't joke with that aspect. If you're aware that your nanny is the first instrument of contact to your children, then we all need to sit up and be very deliberate and intentional with the kind of nannies that we get. We don't just want to get any kind of nanny that would come teach our children all sort of things. Our children pick anything and everything. No. We want to be very, very careful with the kind of images, the kind of language that our children get to speak. I also had a friend who had a nanny. Now, this nanny was bilingual. Now, she could speak Hausa and she could speak English. Now, if you want your child to learn another language, this is an added advantage. They can get to speak to your children in both languages, and your child, before you know it, your child gets to speak those languages as well. But if you want your child to just concentrate on English and you go ahead to do all the other extra languages, then a Montessori nanny is what you need. Now, because the Montessori nanny is aware and she or he is conscious of this aspect of growth in children. They know that children have the absorbent mind. They understand the sensitive periods of children now, so they come with that consciousness and they are aware. So they watch your children to see what sensitive period they are exhibiting at a particular time. Now, if you have a nanny that is well grounded and she knows this thing, I tell you, you would be at rest. Now, your nanny is aware of these things and she begins to present the right thing for your child for that particular stage. If she notices that your child is sensitive to order, she begins to do things orderly, right? If she's aware. So now the Montessori nanny is already trained to be orderly in perspective, because we understand that order is an essential part of every child's development. If your child is not orderly, when they begin to do things as adults, as youths, you will see them doing things haphazardly. But if they begin to have the sense of order at a very tender age, you can see that they grow up knowing these things and they get to exhibit it even when they start to do their things on their own. When they get to run their companies, they know that, oh, I need to be orderly in everything that I do. Now, a Montessori nanny doesn't just do all the chores and all the work at home, but because we know that the developmental stage of a child is very important, she is aware of that as well. So she also engages your children in practical life activities. You can't get this missing. right? So sometimes you might come home and see your children folding their clothes by themselves, but the nanny is right there showing them how to do it, showing them how to put their clothes in the right order. They know where their socks is meant to be, they know where their undies are meant to be, they know where they put their trousers, how they hung their shirts and all of that. Your children would, right, learn all of these things from a Montessori nanny. A normal nanny would just do these things for your children even without engaging your children. Well, she's just doing her work. That is what she's paid for. But the Montessori nanny is aware, and she knows that these things, every child will need it when they grow. So she shows the child how to do these things as well. So sometimes you can come home, find your children doing dishes. She is not going to leave the child just there doing dishes alone, but she is also there showing the child how to do the dishes, how to drain them, and how to keep them in the right place. These things are very essential in every child's growth. We cannot overemphasize the needs of these things, right? I know that most of us just want our nannies to do all the things and not engage our children, but no, our children need to understand that life life is not that easy, right? There are some certain things you get in life that are freely given, but there are some certain things you need to work for. Every child and every parent needs to understand that. And the duty that we have as parents is to showcase these things to our children so they don't grow with the sense of entitlement. Now they're entitled to their nannies fixing their bed, entitled to their nannies putting their shoes in the right place, and they feel I don't need to do these things because I have my nanny that helps me to do all of these things. No, a Montessori nanny carries the child along. She shows the child what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And this is why you need a Montessori nanny in your home. So for more inquiries, right, you can go to our website www.dgmontessoritutors.com.ng. You can find all the necessary information there. If you want to get a tutor for your child, you register there. If you need a nanny, you can also register on our website, and we would get the right one suitable for your family. Please do remember to subscribe to this channel and share our content.